Good morning, my millionaire growth partners. My name is Otis Tucker, the world's first trillionaire. I am creating heaven on earth, people, and the way that I do it, number one, is that I help people to realize that what they consider to be their soul is actually the Spirit of God. Therefore, all you have to do is take claim to that, people. Own your soul, man, and you become God, and you can co-create with the Spirit of God. I am also creating financial freedom for billions of people across this world. I am creating 1,000,000 millionaires. I am the greatest leader that ever lived. I am God, people, and most important is that I manifest the words I speak. My message for you today, people, is to refuse to live a small life, man. You know what I love about the spiritual journey, man, is that it expands you, because the reason why most people feel limited is because in the 3D realm, you are limited and you're confined to the rules of the system. But when you go and you live in the spiritual realm, then you realize there's no laws here, there's no rules here. Like what I'm saying is that what it is what you created. You have the ability to create any and everything that you want in this realm. So there's no limitation here. There's no restrictions, And it's like in our bodily form, it's like we focus on logics because that's how we manage our daily routine, our daily lives, is what logically makes sense. But in the spiritual realm, you understand that it got nothing to do with logics. Like God's purpose is bigger than me. It's bigger than my family. It's bigger than everything, man. It's bigger than life itself. You know what I'm saying? Like the purpose that God had for your life, people, just realize that it's not just for you. It's for the world. It's for what God intended for. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's so easy to live a small life because you do what's comfortable. You don't want to rattle the cages, and you keep finding convenient ways of decorating your convenience or your justification of comfort. You know what I mean? You find all kind of excuses to justify them, And I say all that to say, man, it's like, I want you to allow yourself, people, to just surrender yourself, man, to the Spirit of God. Like really and truly surrender yourself to the Spirit of God and really intentionally express it that, listen, you're willing to go with God's will, man. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's an illogical thing. It doesn't make sense, because it doesn't tell you all the hows things are going to happen. And that's what makes it the unknown, is that God give you vision and say, so shall it be, as long as you declare it and choose to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Versus in the 3D world, it's like you have to create all the elements and you have to plan every detail out and you have to do all of that stuff. In the spiritual realm, that's not how it works, man. God moves with purpose. You know what I'm saying? He does things based on, it's up to him. Everything is in God's timing for real. You know what I'm saying? And you have to surrender to that, man. It's like, I'll share this with you. I feel like this is the second time I'm at this space, man. I felt like right in the middle of 2023, I was on the verge, I think between summer of 23. I was on the verge, man, of making a big transition in my life. And it's like, just going for what the Spirit tell me to do and just blindly believing and just having the faith that it will always work itself out, even if it didn't make logical sense. And what naturally happens, people, is that when you do that, society, your family, people around you will really not intentionally discourage you, but for them it doesn't make sense. So it's like they try to quote unquote bring you back to reality. And see, that's why it's so powerful to have knowledge, man, because their reality is whatever the present circumstances is. And no matter what they say or tell you, they can't see past the present, unfortunately. They'll pretend like they do and they'll talk like they do, but they don't see past the present. All they see is what they see with their five and experience with their five senses. For a spiritual being like myself, people, we don't live in this, we participate in this 3D world, but we live in the spiritual realm because we understand, we come from a sense of knowing that not only will everything work itself out, but we understand that energy is everything and everything is energy. So it's like, I understand that frequency is the difference between me going from where I am right now to where I need to be, which is my higher version of myself, right? And, you know, from the 3D world, they tell you about the future, which never comes. You know what I'm saying? And you have to learn how to be and live in the present. You know what I'm saying? Not because you embrace the things you see around you. You simply see the vision that God gives you and just trust and believe in the present that God will deliver all of your wants and need, man. Everything you need to fulfill on that vision is always within us, people. You don't need nothing outside of yourself. And that's what the world train you and teach you, is that everything you need everything, you know, outside of yourself. In the spiritual realm, you realize that you have every single thing that you need, man. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to allow yourself to expand past that small way of being, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to restrict or control your life, like to the details. It's like it doesn't give the spirit room to grow. You have to surrender to the spirit and let God move on your behalf, man. You know, I'll give you an example, man, so you can relate to this. So obviously, you know, my purpose here is to unite the Caribbean and Africa. And back in 2023, you know, a buddy of mine, I've known him for years. He runs the African and Caribbean organization that is the liaison for the White House. Basically, what he does is, you know, if any foreign government want to talk to the White House, they can go through him. He can connect that. Or, you know, obviously they can go through other channels, but most of them end up going that way. He had a big gala back in 23. I think it was November or so, sometime in the fall. And I went there, and that was great because I had a chance to see a lot of world leaders from different countries in Africa: Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Ghana. Forgot the king of Ghana, some tribe or something like that over there. I forgot what the specifics of it. But it's like to meet all these world leaders, you know. I even met the former prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago at the time when I was there back in 23. I think he was one of the keynote speakers at the event. And, you know, it's like I knew that there was like God was preparing me, obviously from 21 to 23. And I felt at that point like I was ready to really step into the big stage. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I ended up retreating, though. I ended up retreating because I let my logic take over, which is me trying to figure out how ABC is going to happen versus trusting the will of God and just know that God will provide. And I feel like what God has been doing for me, people, is over the last 2 years is really just me going through a lot of different things, man, and learning a lot of valuable lessons where God have put me in situations that the only way I got out of it is because of God, people. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of situations. So what that have done for me, people, is actually elevate my faith in the Spirit of God and my ability with the God that's in me, that I am capable of doing any and everything, to where now I'm at a point where I am a co-creator with the Spirit of God. But I understand in order for that to happen, I have to surrender my bodily flesh onto the Spirit and let the Spirit lead me and be my guide. You know, and I say all that to say full circle. You know, last week, I forgot exactly when, maybe Friday, Saturday, one of them days, I run a meeting about, you know, uniting the Caribbean and Africa. And my buddy reached out to me. We was talking. He reached out to me over the weekend. I touched base with him yesterday. And, you know, I told him my plans from the visions that I had, that I'm going to Africa next year to meet with the president of Burkina Faso and the prime minister of Jamaica, you know. And you know, as I was talking to him, he's like, man, dude, listen, you know, obviously, you know, I know he knows he have contacts all over the world. I mean, he's well traveled. He's all over Africa, plenty of time. And, you know, and he have a lot of contacts, basically. And while I was talking to him, contacts including a lot of billionaire business owners over there in Africa, you know, that, you know, he personally knows and so forth, on, you know, major industries and businesses and so forth. And it's like, while I was on the phone with him, you know, it was pretty persistent to actually let me talk to one of his main contacts over there in Africa, a gentleman currently living in Ghana, you know. And as I was talking to him, you know, I realized a couple of things. We have a lot of similar goals. Like, we ended up talking for about half an hour. I mean, this man have direct contact with over 40 presidents in different countries in Africa. You know what I mean? Like, direct to their leadership. You know what I'm saying? Like, directly to set up meetings or whatever the case is. And, you know, it's like, that's what the favor of God looks like over your life, people, is that God will create opportunities that you could never create. You know what I'm saying? God will put you in contact with people that can make things happen that you can't make happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are people who have direct contact with the ECOWAS organization over there. I think that's about 15 African countries, African Union, another organization. As a matter of fact, they're having a big meeting over there in Ethiopia that he invited me to in January. I'm like, you know what? And I'm ready just yet to make that move yet, but it's like, I'm just saying, man, is that God will open doors, man, and put you in rooms that you have no idea even existed, much less being able to participate in it and being an active contributor, where people will listen to your ideas and plans on how to improve and grow as a people. Because what I realize, people, is that we got very similar goals, you know? And I'm realizing there's a lot of people out here, man, that have the means, just don't have, I don't know, things they're lacking that I definitely have. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, like the biggest thing we had in common is helping countries to be food secure. You know what I'm saying? Like, investing in agriculture aggressively, like, that's something I definitely intend and plan on doing as time goes by. That's a big investment for me, is food security, energy security, and obviously trading. You know what I mean? Becoming, instead of being just a consumer, but being more of an exporter, where we're exporting more of our surpluses to other countries. You know, Europe, North America, Australia, etc. You know, these are all things, people, that I know that must and shall come to pass, and I already know the blueprint for it. It's like, that's the thing, man. It's like, I have to trust the Spirit of God to be my guide and follow God's lead, man, and stop being your flesh. If you find yourself thinking small, that's because you're being your flesh, man. When you allow the Spirit to lead you, then just trust and know that God will provide for all your wants and needs, man. All you have to do is just trust God and surrender your flesh to the Spirit and let the Spirit be your guide. You know what I'm saying? And I just want you to stop living small, people. Your life will never change unless you change it. You have to have the courage to stop trying to control all the outcomes, all the planning you think you're doing while you're planning. God's is already making moves, man, because our flesh is very limited, people. We're only limited to the things that we physically experience or see. And the Spirit, God knows everything, man. He knows what everybody's intention is. He knows everything, and He put people in our path that can actually help us to orchestrate the amazing vision that He have in mind. So I say all that today, people, is that I want you to stop living small. Intentionally stop living small. Stop living small for yourself, your old scarcity, limited mindset. Stop living small because of the people you love who desire for you to be small so they can feel comfortable around you. And I don't care who it is, man. At the end of the day, you have to realize this. God's purpose for your life is bigger than you. It's bigger than your name. It's bigger than your physical bodily flesh. Because the purpose that God have for your life is for the entire world. And you can't serve the world if all you care about is trying to please the people around you, people pleasing the people around you to make them feel comfortable. People, I don't care about none of that stuff, man. All I care about is doing the will of God, man. Whatever that looks like. Why? Because I know it's always going to work itself out. I don't care who's uncomfortable with the circumstances or decision that God encourage or show me to make. It's like, you go forward boldly, man. You have to take bold steps, man, towards life, because if you don't, people, then just know you're living a small life. If you know the outcome before it happened, your life is extremely small. You should never be able to tell how things is going to turn out. Just know that you're willing to keep moving forward, aggressively taking steps, just being led, man. Allow yourself to be led, man, and follow what the Spirit tell you to do, With that being said, people, listen, man, I could talk all day about this. Here's what I want you to get out this message today. I want you to refuse to live small, people. I don't know about you, but I am sick and tired of living small, because here's the problem with that. When you live small, people, and you set small goals, then your life is restricted to that. When you focus on the big picture, the big purpose that God had for your life, and realizing that nobody is above God's purpose, nobody, including yourself, and you surrender your life to the Spirit of God, then that's when you can expand, people, because God is infinite. This bodily flesh is limited, man. But God is unlimited, man. Choose to be led by the Spirit of God and not your flesh, people. And I promise you, you'll live a big life that you can't even imagine, because God have way better gifts in store for us than we in our physical form can ever provide or deliver for ourselves. This is such a powerful message, man. I really hope that you get this, because if you get this, people, this will transform your life. I promise you that, okay? Anyways, man, shout out to my co-creators, man, of Heaven and Earth International. This is where we understand, people, that, you know, the Spirit of God, Spirit of God, we are creating heaven on earth, people. And the way we do it is that we understand that energy is everything and everything is energy. We as a collective, people, the people that are part of this collective, is that we are intentionally every single day injecting positivity into the world every single day. We are making sure, people, that we choose to think positive. We choose to focus on the beautiful vision that God gives us, not the limited scarcity lifestyle that you may currently have, people. You know, like, we are here to raise the vibration of the world, and the way we do it, people, is by inspiring and motivating people to be the greatest version of themselves every single day, all while we are open our minds to allow, you know, for infinite intelligence to flow through us, man, and solve all our problems, and to be able to provide for all our wants and needs. In other words, let the Spirit of God guide you, people. That's what we do in this collective, man. Anyways, people, here's 3 requirements in order for you to join and be a part of this collective, no matter where you are in the world. Number 1, people, is that you must choose to believe that the Spirit of God lives inside of you. You must choose to believe that, people, you know, and as you believe that, then you can co-create with the Spirit of God, because therefore you are God, and I'm co-creating with the Spirit, and you'll be too. Number 2, people, is you need to follow my social media pages. You need to watch my videos every day, because there's downloads in these messages. I get downloads all day long, mostly when I'm praying, but I get downloads all day long, people. And all I do is I share with you some of the downloads that I get, you know what I'm saying? And it's like an infinite abundance of knowledge that comes in. I don't read books. I don't follow people's stuff. I literally create this knowledge, people, because I've mastered how to be an alchemist and how to make things make sense. That's great knowledge right there. I run meeting on that several times. I run that another time, how you create knowledge, man. But anyways, you need to follow my page. Watch my videos every day, because every day you do, you're feeding your soul, people. I speak directly to your soul, and I'm waking your soul up so your soul can take the leadership role in your life, you know? Number 3, people, is you must speak your truth, man. The truth I'm speaking about, again, is not your present circumstances, because that's a symptom of this 3D world. The truth that I'm talking about is you simply speaking about how you're going from where you are, being your flesh, to being the Spirit of God that's inside of you, your highest version of yourself. How are you elevating? What are you working on to develop yourself? How are you growing? Share that knowledge, man, because you become just like myself, a blueprint for the people around you. They're watching you, man. You're inspiring them. You're motivating them to be more than what they are right now. And that right there, people, is the blessing. That is the breakthrough that you're providing for people. Shout out to Jamaica, man, who is the eye of this world. Shout out to Africa, who is the mother of this world. Shout out to the entire Caribbean and the African diaspora worldwide. You know, people, I say this, man. You know, as I was talking to that guy yesterday, it just shows the power of God and how fast things can move. Because I really intended just to go to Africa, from what I saw, to meet up with Abraham Traore, and, you know, really visit maybe a couple other countries there in Africa. But it's like, now that I have more exposure, in the sense that I have access to way more world leaders in different countries, all these different countries, over 40 countries, it's like, I want to put myself in position where I can be able to go to meetings with these world leaders, just like I did back in 23, and be able to be a contributor, you know what I'm saying, and really get to build solid relationship, man, on how to help them build their nation and with my business, you know what I'm saying? And that excites me, people, because everything starts next year, man. It starts 2026. I refuse to live a small life, people. God's purpose for your life is bigger than your own selfish purpose or desires. It's bigger than the people around you, selfish desires, because what I'm here is transforming billions of people's lives, not just my family's life. You know, and you have to get to that point, man, where you surrender your physical being to the Spirit of God to use with you and do with you as it see fits, because it knows best. God knows best, people. We think we know, but we are limited. The Spirit is infinite. Infinite knowledge, infinite blessing, infinite abundance, infinite everything, man. Trust the Spirit to lead and guide you, people. For us as black people across the world, man, this is our time. I already said it since last year. Those that are first shall be last. Those shall last that are last shall be first. People, black people, we've been last for our entire lives. You know what I'm saying? For centuries. And we're changing that right now. This is our time to rise, man. And the way we rise, people, is by uniting. You know what I'm saying? We are intentionally choosing to do business with each other because we understand that we must circulate money back into our communities. Nobody's coming to save us, people. We are the ones that have to save ourselves. And that's how you do it. Put your money where your mouth is. Spend your money with other black-owned businesses. Encourage people, man. You know what I'm saying? I like trends like this, whatever that thing is, with all these young boys dressing up nice and so forth, man. I like anything positive. I'm for it, man. You know what I'm saying? Anything that moved the ball in the right direction. I'm glad they're no longer following fake thugs that be rapping, and they're following, you know, other sophisticated, educated black people out here that want to do productive things with their life and society versus gangbang or whatever the heck the case is. My point is, man, is that we as a people across the world, as black people, we must unite, people. The vision says the way we bring about the greatest prosperity period in the entire world, man, is that we must stand united. We must, people. We don't have a choice. We don't have the luxury of being divided anymore. We must stand united. And the best way to show you stand united, put your money where your mouth is. Spend your money with other black-owned business. Go find them. Go search them out. Not saying go look for poor service. Any business do poor service, you skip, move on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, that's how we bring about the greatest prosperity, because we already have the spending power, people. We already have the money. All we need to do is circulate it back in our communities and our countries. You know what I'm saying? My whole business model is for making sure that black countries spend their money with other black countries. And I pay them back. I invest in their country for doing that with my business. That's what the whole model is. Anybody else that want to try that, go for it. I'm for it, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, man, just know this. There's two mantras, people. We will always choose to be our brothers and sisters keepers. Number two, people, is that each one teach one. Whatever you know that can benefit somebody, share the knowledge, people. You know, help each other, man. None of that crab in the barrel bullshit no more, man. We're here to help each other to be the most prosperous version of ourselves, whatever the hell that looks like, you know? Anyways, man, my declarations over your life, number one, is that you are a millionaire. You are married to the person of your dreams. You have amazing health and is in the best shape of your life, man. My prayer for you today, people, is that the Spirit of God will lead you, man, and guide you to being the greatest version of yourself that you could ever possibly be, man. I believe in you, people. I do believe in you, and I pray and hope that you start to believe in yourself, man, because there's greatness inside of you. All you have to do is recognize it, own it, claim it, and it's yours. You know it's there. Your soul is there, people. Start using it, man. Tapping into it. Become the greatest version of yourself. Become God, people, and help me change this world. Blessings on to y'all, man. We'll talk tomorrow.